Time for the Tesla and Palantir weekly update, and going to start off with Tesla on linear scale here on the weekly chart. And we can see where it closed. It actually closed back above the 321.32. So this is a great development, right? The 618 fib did hold perfectly as a support. And also, you put on the moving averages here, we can see that the 50-week moving average still held well as a support too. That was right there around 97.14. And so this really has potential now to continue its journey higher. And why do I think that as well? Well, if we put on the Ichimoku cloud, we can see that it actually closed back inside the weekly Ichimoku cloud too. So it never really lost Ichimoku cloud support, right? Because last week, we can zoom in here and we can see that it closed right inside the cloud and above the 50 and above the 618. And this week it closed above all this support. So it's still maintained Ichimoku cloud support and the 321.32.702 fib. So where to next? Well, I think my main focus is holding this zone right here between the 702 and the bottom of the cloud next week as a support zone. That's my target, right? Just seeing the bottom of the cloud is around 313.80 and 321.32. Just stay inside the cloud, stay around the vicinity of the 321. I think that's acceptable. And if that 313.80, 314 zone can continue to hold, then I think it can build its way back towards all of the resistance above here in the 350s and 360s above. And it's not going to have any kind of breakout until this arc right here gets actually flipped to a support and then goes higher. But until then, it could just be range bound and it could just stay. I'll put on the Ichimoku here on log scale. It could just stay basically in this zone right here between the 350s, right? Low 350s down to the 313 zone, right? It could just stay in this zone for a little bit, for maybe a few weeks or a little bit longer until it's really ready to be set free. So I don't think it's ready to be set free just yet. So I think it's just range bound, but the good development is it's range bound in a new level, right? Before it was basically range bound right here for a couple of months. And now we broke out, got rejected, back tested important zones. And now it has the potential to build a new base at a higher level before it's ready to go higher. So it's a fantastic development here for Tesla. I think all the worries that it's going to collapse are not warranted. I think this cloud support does have a great potential of holding. So that's what I'm focused on. This range for all of next week, basically 313 all the way up to the 350s. And next is Palantir. And Palantir, I have the log scale fibs right on this chart here from the previous high back in 2021 all the way to the low here back in December of 2022. So this looks like it has flipped this 1.414 to a support. So the 104, I don't think we need to be concerned with that anymore right now. I think what we're looking at is basically just continued grinding higher. And again, the main focus here is the monthly Bollinger Band here, and just switch to the monthly chart. The monthly Bollinger Band is still pushing price up as a support. And currently that band right now is 132.97. So that means that is our support. You can see basically it's been very, very parabolic, right? Ever since it started getting above the monthly Bollinger Band, it's been pushing it up and up and up as support. There's only 1 month right here that it really closed below the band, but it quickly made up for it the following month and just was a huge 40% candle that just got right back above it. And since then, it's been pushing it up. So is it going to go straight to the 157.62, or is it going to come back down and retest the 130, the lower 130s again before trying to break free? Well, before that 157, there is actually some resistance. And first of all, I want to switch to the linear scale just to show you that the potential of resistance is coming soon, and that's at 147.31 according to the linear scale Fibonacci charts. So 132.97 has potential to keep being our support. 147.31 could be the next resistance. But actually, I did create a new daily chart GAN for Palantir that I wanted to show more accuracy on some potential resistance around current levels. And if I switch to that, we can go here and see that it actually is really at a resistance zone right now. So this GAN is basically from the same kind of low period, the 2022 low, but I just want to show you how accurate it has been with like the orange level acting as a resistance. It was a big breakout. This is green line is the 45-degree angle. Lots of activity, support and resistance throughout it. But basically, once it broke this green level, it came back down to retest all of this support here. And now it flipped that green level to a support. And that green level really is at 125, right? 124.60, 124.40, that zone. So that looks like a solid zone, and why it might not go back to that log-based fib right here of the 104, right? The 104.21, I don't think it needs to go back down there, mainly because of this green level, right? This is looking like it wants to be support. It's probably going to be support for some time, but is it going to break this current zone, the 140, right? This arc, the bottom arc here, let me just zoom in a little bit. The bottom arc there is right around 140. The top arc right here is around 145, which kind of lines up with the linear scale 3.618, the 147.31. So we can see confluence of resistance right down there. And we can see that the 132, there is some confluence of support if it did want to wick below that 132 and go back down to that 124. So ideally, I think it's best for Palantir to stay in this range, right? Stay in this range until it's ready to break this arc and go to the 140s, 145, 146, 147. And then once it flips this arc right here to a support, then I think it can make its way to the 157, right? The log-based fib right here, the 157.62, and even the green level up here, which is right around 164. So very, very positive developments for Palantir. It's a very bullish stock. And if you're looking for some kind of opportunity, I think it could be where that Bollinger Band is right there, the 132.90s, maybe all the way down towards the green level here around 124, 125. So it is at a little bit of a resistance zone. Let's see if it can break free. But once it does flip these 145, 147 to a support, I think it's on towards the 150s and the 160s above.